Hi, I'm Katie Lowery, Director of Integrated Controls at Strang. As a building operator, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by the amount of information that comes through on your HVAC control system. But using your building automation system or other DDC interface you might have, you can fairly quickly uncover some major performance problems that could be costing you in your utility bills. Let's look at 5 things you can check on your control system. Most buildings have an air handling unit or a rooftop unit that are set to bring in a certain amount of fresh air for building health, which is required by code. But when outdoor air temperatures are mild, say between 55 and 70 degrees, and your air handling unit is in a cooling mode, your system should be bringing in way more fresh air than is required because this is literally free cooling. This is referred to as an economizer. Generally speaking, a working economizer could save as much as 2,000 kWh per year on a 5-ton rooftop unit. You could also have the opposite problem, where you're bringing in more outside air than is needed and then always having to heat or cool that air. A study in 2003 of 215 rooftop units found that 62% of these were poorly controlled or not functioning at all. So find out what the economizing strategy is on your system and check to see if it's working. Observe how often equipment is changing states of operation. For example, are you seeing that your boiler cycles on and then off again just a few minutes later? Or maybe you see a fan coil unit or an air handling unit toggling between heating and cooling modes. Barring any mechanical problems, these are certainly signs of unstable control due to poorly tuned control loops. Take a close look at the temperatures before and after your heating and cooling coils because you could have leaking valves and not even realize it. A cooling coil valve might be working overtime and compensating for a leaking hot water valve, or vice versa. Ask yourself if the temperatures you're seeing make sense. For example, if your heating valve is supposedly closed, but there's an unexplained temperature rise across it, it's very likely an indication of a leaking valve. Well, there are some reasons why certain HVAC equipment might not subscribe to occupied and unoccupied modes. The majority of HVAC systems should be able to dial back when the building is unoccupied. Take a look at your system equipment schedules and see if they actually align with the occupancy of your building. If your building has traditional office hours, for example, there's no sense in running your equipment the same on the weekends as you do on a weekday. Go through your system or run a report on what DDC commands might have an operator override on them. Your system is meant to make automatic decisions based on the information it's receiving, but sometimes an operator has to intervene for maintenance reasons or to compensate for a programming error. Either way, sometimes these overrides never get released, and that means your equipment isn't responding to live conditions or may be working overtime.